Hello, and welcome to Mindset. Today, we're tackling a subject that many of us have wondered about but rarely discuss openly: the subtle signs someone may not like you. Now, before you jump to conclusions or feel disheartened, remember, this isn't about blaming yourself or getting caught up in negative emotions. Instead, it's about understanding human behavior, learning from it, and applying Stoic wisdom to stay calm, focused, and true to yourself. There was a time when I misinterpreted someone's indifference as a personal attack. I spent days questioning my worth and doubting my actions. But then I learned to view these behaviors through a Stoic lens, understanding that others' actions are a reflection of their own inner battles, not a measure of my value. In this video, we're going to explore 7 clear signs that might indicate someone dislikes you, and, more importantly, how you can use this knowledge to protect your peace and continue your path to personal growth. If you're ready to understand these signs, stick around, and by the end, I promise you'll have a fresh perspective that empowers you to maintain your inner strength. And if you find this video valuable, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a lesson on building a resilient mindset. Throughout this video, I'll share real-life examples, personal anecdotes, and practical advice. Each sign we discuss isn't meant to foster bitterness. It's simply an observation that can help you understand social dynamics better. And remember, Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control the actions of others, we can always control our reactions. Let's get started with the first sign. Sign 1. Avoids eye contact and closed body language. Sign number 1 is when someone consistently avoids eye contact or displays closed body language around you. Picture a friend or colleague who always seems to turn away, crossing their arms or leaning back when you approach. This behavior might be subtle, but it can signal discomfort or disinterest. I once noticed a coworker who, despite being friendly in group settings, always avoided making direct eye contact with me during one-on-one interactions. At first, I felt hurt and confused, but after reflecting on it, I realized that his behavior was more about his own insecurities than a reflection of my worth. In Stoic philosophy, we learn that the opinions and behaviors of others are not our responsibility. Only our reactions are. So, if you notice this sign, take a moment to center yourself and remember that your value is inherent, regardless of someone else's actions. Sign 2. Frequent interruptions or dismissive behavior. Sign number 2 is when someone frequently interrupts you or dismisses your opinions. Imagine being in a conversation where your thoughts are constantly cut off or minimized. This isn't just about poor manners. It could be an indicator of deeper disinterest or even resentment. I recall a discussion with a friend where every time I started to share my perspective, he would interject with a quick remark or change the subject entirely. Initially, I felt disrespected and frustrated. Later, through self-reflection and studying Stoic principles, I understood that his behavior was a window into his own struggles with communication. While it's important to stand up for yourself, it's also crucial not to internalize the negativity. Focus on those who value your insights and remember that every conversation is an opportunity to grow. Sign 3. Curt or indifferent responses. Sign 3 is receiving curt or indifferent responses. If someone answers your questions with one-word replies or seems disengaged, it might signal a lack of genuine interest in your company. I once invited a family member to share a moment of connection, only to receive brief, unenthusiastic responses that left me wondering about their true feelings. In these moments, Stoicism reminds us that external opinions are not a measure of our self-worth. What truly matters is how you respond to these situations. Instead of feeling rejected, use these experiences to build a deeper understanding of yourself and focus on relationships that bring positivity into your life. Sign 4. Passive-aggressive behavior. Sign 4 is passive-aggressive behavior. This might look like backhanded compliments, sarcastic remarks, or subtle digs that are cloaked in humor. It's a behavior that can be confusing and emotionally draining, leaving you questioning your actions. I remember a time when a close acquaintance would compliment my work, but his tone and timing always made it feel like a veiled criticism. Over time, this pattern became clear, and while it hurt initially, I learned to accept that his actions were his own. The Stoics taught me that while I cannot control his behavior, I can control my interpretation of it. By reframing these moments as reflections of his internal state, rather than your worth, you can maintain your emotional balance. Sign 5. Exclusion from group activities. Sign number 5 is exclusion from group activities. If you find yourself repeatedly left out of invitations or social gatherings, it can be a clear sign that someone may harbor negative feelings towards you. I experienced this firsthand when I noticed that a friend would often make plans with others but rarely included me. Initially, I felt isolated and questioned what I did wrong. However, after some introspection and a few conversations, I learned that sometimes exclusion is more about the dynamics within the group than about me personally. Stoicism teaches us to seek inner validation rather than external approval. Focus on cultivating relationships where you are valued, and remember that the right people will always welcome you. Sign 6. Overly critical or fault-finding attitude. Sign 6 is when someone is overly critical or constantly finds fault with everything you do. It might start with minor critiques but soon escalates to undermining your efforts or achievements. I once worked with someone whose constant criticism left me doubting my abilities. Every comment felt like a personal attack. However, by embracing Stoic wisdom, I learned that criticism is often a reflection of the critic's own insecurities. Instead of internalizing these comments, use them as fuel for self-improvement. Evaluate the feedback objectively. Discard what isn't constructive, and hold on to what can help you grow. Remember, your value isn't determined by the opinions of others. Sign 7. Undermining your confidence or efforts. Sign 7 is when someone actively undermines your confidence or efforts. This can be the most damaging sign, as it chips away at your self-esteem over time. Whether it's subtle discouragement or overt actions, these behaviors can leave you feeling insecure. I remember a period when a close associate would downplay my achievements and offer unsolicited advice that left me doubting my decisions. It was painful, but through reflection and applying Stoic teachings, I realized that his behavior said more about his inner turmoil than my abilities. The key is to remain grounded and remember that true confidence comes from within. Build your self-worth based on your own values and actions, not on the fluctuating opinions of others. Transition and summary. Let's take a moment to recap. We've discussed 7 signs that may indicate someone dislikes you. From avoiding eye contact and dismissive responses to passive-aggressive behavior and subtle undermining of your confidence. While these signs can be painful to recognize, the wisdom of Stoicism reminds us that our true value isn't defined by the actions of others. Each sign is not a reason to isolate yourself, but an opportunity to understand human behavior and to strengthen your resolve. When you face these challenges, remember, you have the power to choose your response. Focus on your growth. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, and let go of the need for external validation. Focus on your growth. Your value is inherent. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I know these topics can hit close to home, and I truly appreciate your willingness to reflect on these challenging signs. If any part of this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. What signs have you noticed in your own life, and how have you responded? Your insights could be the key to someone else's breakthrough. If you're new here, consider subscribing to Mindset. We explore topics that help you build inner strength and navigate life's ups and downs with resilience and clarity. Every video is crafted with the intention to empower you and to remind you that your peace of mind is in your hands. Remember, in the teachings of Stoicism, the opinions of others are external. They do not define who you are. Focus on cultivating your inner wisdom, and let every challenge serve as a stepping stone to a better, more confident you. Thank you for being part of this community. Until next time, stay strong, be true to yourself, and keep growing. No ma.